Batman and the Outsiders, issue 1 by Brian Edward Hill and Dexter Soy on the art. This has, of course, been delayed itself, actually, for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Apparently it was, I mean, nothing in this issue tells me what it is, but apparently it was for continuity reasons. It wasn't like, oh, they were behind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So...
yeah. Which is unfortunate, because I feel like it definitely lost some momentum not following on from his little run on Detective, when it's so clearly a lead into this. Like, even more directly than I think I'd expected.
Yeah, it references a couple of things from that arc. We're introduced to these new characters at the start, this father-daughter, and we learn a bit more about them later from Batman, about them being in this program that were experimented on.
It's very, very much like what was happening in Silencer. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because then we find out who is behind it all. Like, kind of like, oh, okay, that's what's going on.
Yeah. So this villain, kills the father, and I will say I really like these pages. She gets thrown off this highway and lands in a tanker. It's a really fun action sequence. I mean, fun's maybe the wrong word.
Pretty great throughout.
Yeah. Oh, the art is pretty great throughout. And then we're interested in the team, and it's Duke and Cass, and try to follow orders from Black Lightning, and they're not really functioning as a team very well. There's some doubt, there's some mistrust.
Probably my biggest problem with this first issue is just the Black Lightning constantly reminding them that they're a team.
And
I'm just like, yeah, I mean, had this come out right after his detective run, yeah, but there's been so much time in between. It feels.
Yeah, no, I get it, because it feels like this isn't a first mission, right? There still has been time passed between that detective stuff and this now. So they've been semi-functioning for at least a little bit.
Right, but it feels, I don't want to say uneven, but it feels like a different Black Lightning than that we had back. And it's probably not. It's just the time in between. So, but hey, we get Cass. That's good. I miss seeing her in the pages of comic.
No. This is definitely the spiritual successor to Tynion's detective run, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a bad team book. I like this issue one quite a bit. I think it does a neat job of setting up the story without trying to cram too much of it in. So, because sometimes with an issue 1, there's one or two things that'll happen. It'll feel overstuffed because they want to get through enough of the plot to make you feel like you've got a substantial chunk.
Yeah.
Or it'll feel like there's not enough plot because they just want to introduce things but don't bother setting up enough to make you hooked.
Right.
I feel like by the end of this issue, I get a clear sense of, okay, team dynamics, introducing where we are with the characters right now, and then also setting up enough plot where I understand the hook. I understand where this is going, at least for now. I think
it was a really good issue 1. Like, it was... we always just say Tynion's detective run kind of felt like an X-Men book. This definitely leans into that for me when we get to the ending.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I thought it was a bit cliche. I don't know, a bit seen it before.
But
I'm curious
to see where
there is time for to do stuff with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious because I've never seen this done with like a Bat book before.
No.
That's fair.
Because where Connor's coming from.
It is a total X-Men thing, so it's at least different for these characters.
It is. It just, as a cliffhanger, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm going to call him Green Hair Bishop.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sets up some interesting dynamics, like Black Lightning and Katana have a very different dynamic than the other characters do, the younger characters.
Yeah.
They're co-leaders by the end of their scene together.
Yeah, which I do like, because I like that Black Lightning goes to her to, and she's like, well, I need a challenge. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do with a sword. And she's like, every child knows what to do with a sword. Just do your best and challenge me. And then it flips around later when, he tells her to challenge him as a leader. So.
Yeah, and because we get some setup with the characters, and then Batman calls him in and says, okay, so this thing happened in, what was it?
LA,
thank you. And he's like, hey, so this happened.
It's weird getting real cities in the DC universe.
What would have been cool? Make it set it in Via Hermosa. Try to bring Catwoman in a little bit. That's DC's LA.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. But
So Batman explains the backstory and what happened and how the mother died after the experiments. You know, Batman kind of saved people from this experiment stuff, but unfortunately someone's hunting them down, someone who knows what they are. So, you know, it's classic scene, rooftop, Batman's given the mission, here's your task, and he kind of leaves off. I'm kind of cool with, like, if Batman just functions in this book, it's kind of like a Nick Fury who comes in and gives, like, them a mission, and then more or less leaves. I'm actually kind of cool with that. Let it focus on the other characters a little bit.
Yeah. See, I forgot this was
if it wasn't called Batman and the Outsiders, because that's a bit of a misnomer.
Well, I forgot because I got so excited for it to be, you know, Black Lightning, Katana, and the younger ones working together, and then I remembered it was called Batman and the Outsiders, and I lined up with Connor. I was like, oh, he's supposed to be like this team, but I feel like this is how Hill's going to get around Batman, quote, leading the team, and it's going to be, you know, Black Lightning's team by the end, because he's the one in the field. Batman is just kind of delegating.
Honestly, like, context is everything. I don't really care that it's called Batman the Outsider, because I get they're just doing that to sell books. Like, that is literally the only reason why it's called that.
Oh, Peter, you cynic.
It annoys me, though. I agree that's why they're doing it. But I think if that's what you're calling, if you're gonna go, hey, no, this is a Batman book, we're selling it on that premise, there bloody better be some Batman in the team.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
I don't know if I agree with that. What would you rather have, honestly? Would you rather have a book that focuses on other characters and they just use Batman's name to sell the book so it can exist, or would you rather not have the book this way?
I would rather them just call it The Outsiders and see how far it lasts.
No, but that's not an option here. That's not an option in this equation.
Why is it not an option?
Because they're not going to do that.
They could do that. The Outsiders is already a thing that exists. It's got enough name recognition.
But we know they're not going to do that, though. So the question here is between either you have Batman forced into it, and, you know, we have another Batman book, which we already have tons of, or you just use the name, live with it, and get your book that has different characters getting the spotlight.
This whole thing, like, it's always been Batman and the Outsiders, and what changed that was when Nightwing had his team.
Yeah, and it wasn't called Batman and the Outsiders then, was it?
No, but they were trying to get away from that. Here, it ties back into Batman, so I get that. Like, I could see them dropping the Batman from the title later, you know, but I just, the Outsiders by itself as a name, those books don't last very long, you know? So if they want this to last long, you got to put the stupid Batman name on it.
Then you should have the stupid Batman in the team.
No, like, I don't want it to change what it is, just incorporate the title. I really don't care. This is not a problem for me at all. This is purely semantics.
It bothers me.
I just don't care. I'm at the point where Batman's going to be there because he sells. So, and if anybody tries to tell me otherwise, then you're fooling yourself.
Well, yeah, but
so at least Pete admits it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But would you rather they shoehorn him in more just to justify the title, or would you rather just use the title to make sure the book exists?
No, it's fine. I mean, because, you know, we kind of buried the lead that Ra's al Ghul is responsible for this. So of course Batman's gonna have to be involved.
Oh yeah, we find out at the end when the future Dick shows up, because we find out the person who's behind the murder of her father is a guy called Ishmael, right. And this guy from the future is called Caliber, or at least that's what he's saying.
Bishop.
Yeah, he's saying call me Caliber, and he's like, yeah, I'm from the future, and he's all kind of little Lobo-esque in some ways.
Yeah, but yeah. So if Batman's just like, you know, this is his idea. They're on the outside of it. So they're, you know, I just want to know, like, here's my problem with continuity is all the different teams Batman's involved with at this point. You know, it's the Justice League, the different Bat family stuff.
Right now it is technically just this and the Justice League team.
Yeah. So
I think.
But there's been moments where he's got a hand in every. Well, but yeah, because he had a hand in Titans when Dick was there, you know.
Yeah, but that's all done with now.
So, but no, I'm just saying, like, it's fine. I've come to terms with it, and if I pick at it more, I'm gonna get more irritated. So I'm not gonna pick anymore.
Which is why he's good. He's just a mentor role in this,
and that's fine. I forgot that it was Batman and the Outsiders. I had to go back and check when he was just like, "Hey, Jeff, the penthouse is yours," and then he takes off.
Yeah, this Caliber character, he gave me a bit of a Terminator vibe, actually, partly because he's coming from the future, I think it's actually the shotgun. It reminds me of Keanu Reese's shotgun from the first Terminator movie, I think.
Well, that's probably what they were going for, right? I mean, the whole Days of Future Past was post Terminator, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so coming from that future to save the past, like.
Are those green bits on him? Do you reckon they're kryptonite?
I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna tie into Superman.
Yeah,
you have this whole arc's called Lesser Gods, and so it makes me think like it's this future that these meta enhanced people from Roz have gone to war, and it's created this wasteland. So, I don't think Superman's gonna be involved there.
Yeah, I think that's just your DC brain seeing green and going kryptonite.
Yeah. It'd be cool eventually if Hill brought in Silencer. I feel like her and Katana would get along great.
Hey, I think this would be a great place for Silencer to be after her book's done.
Yeah.
To be on this team.
And bring Sideways in too.
Hell, who knows? Maybe that's why it was delayed. Maybe it was like, oh no, Silencer's going to end with this issue, so it has to, like, issue 3 or 4 of this has to coincide.
Yeah. I just can't help that this last arc of Silencer deals with, Roz creating superhumans or metahumans, and that's what this opens with. Mm-hmm. I just look at that. But yeah, no. If they want to put all of our wayward heroes that we like, have a crossover with the Justice League of China here, like I'm perfectly okay with this book being that one.
Yeah. No, I actually quite liked it. I the art's really good throughout.
Yeah.
I like most of these characters, of course, getting time, which is always nice. But I think I did a good job of setting up his plot, giving me the hook at the end. But even without the time travel thing at the end, it okay. So here's our problem, but we're not going to rush everyone into investigating it right away. We spend most of the book after that opening scene just establishing our 4 core characters and where they're who they are, what their relationships are right now, how they're feeling with each other, the fact that the events of the arc in Detective Comics is still kind of weighing on some of them, all that kind of stuff.
But I thought that her scene here with her doing the samurai. The whole blessing the sword and whatnot.
Just on the art, did anyone else think that was a severe amount of cleavage out of nowhere?
Yeah, that's
on
so
Katana.
You guys are higher on the art. Yeah, you guys are higher on the art than I am. Dexter's always fine. I would never pick up a book because Soy is on the book. There's some of the panels with Bruce, just the way that he's drawn and Soy's style. Just not for me. It's very manga-esque. So
I like Soy's art, but I agree that when it gets to that Katana I like that scene with Katana and Black Lightning.
Yeah.
But there was all of a sudden, like, why is she in a bathrobe that's
kimono?
Yeah.
Why is it all left open? You think sexy time?
It just kind of came out of nowhere, and it's so un-Katana, right? Who's usually very covered up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It feels like comic books. We wanted cleavage, so there's cleavage.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Oh.
All right, what are you rating it, Matt?
I'm gonna give 7.5. Good, solid start.
Connor?
7.
I'll give it 8. I liked it. I'm looking forward to the next issue.